welcome to the
Thank you.
Scraps and Yaps podcast. I'm so excited to
Nice.
have you. Um,
Thank you.
do you want to start off with just telling us a
Mm,
little bit about yourself and War Beyond Galaxies?
sure. Oh, this is the worst part for an author,
I
right?
know.
So I don't want to talk about myself. All right. So my name is Ana Del Alamo, which I know is a hard name to pronounce. Comes with a lot of problems in a lot of different countries. Um, but I'm Spanish. Lived in the States. Now I live in the UK. Married to an American. So a bit of all over the place. Families all over the world, which is sounds great, but it's actually chaos. And I've always written, and I started War Beyond Galaxies, which didn't have a title. It's called Galaxia for 20 years.
Mm,
I started it when I was 14,
20 years.
and more than 20 years. 14 plus 20 does not equal the age that I am right now.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah, I just wrote it for myself. I never thought I would
It's
publish. And back then you
amazing.
couldn't, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't self-publish. So, and I did try to publish it a couple times when I was 20.
Mm,
I sent this big chunk of book out to publishers. I had no idea what I was doing. Of course, it never got published. And I got one letter back or two letters back saying, no, thank you. Um,
Yep.
pretty much. And then I just kept going for myself. And I wrote it in Spanish first. And then when I married my husband, probably 10 years after I started, I thought he needs to read it, so I need to translate it because he's American and he still doesn't speak Spanish. So when I translated it, I just rewrote the whole thing, kind of more adult version, because obviously when you're 14,
Yeah.
you don't write quite like an adult. So it's gone through a lot of drafts, a lot of versions, and I truly, really finished it about 5 years ago. And that's when I said, "Hey, you can self-publish nowadays. Why don't I just do that?"
There you
And
go.
here we are.
That's amazing. I did not
Crazy.
know that that was like a
Hmm.
story you wrote when you were 14. I knew
Pretty
that it was
much
like a story you've had with you for a long time, but I did not expect it
a
to be.
long time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you, and I could be wrong with this, but did you say in your author bio, maybe in the book or on
Mhm.
your website that you used to be in the military or something like that? Or am I completely off?
No, I'm not, which is one of the things I really struggle with. I
Okay.
am married. My
Yeah.
was in the National Guard.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So
So, but I've always been, yeah,
yeah, so
go for
did
it.
that have an influence in the story? Because obviously it follows space military. And how did you know that at 14?
I've always been just fascinated by that
Yeah.
world. It's just so different than civilian life, and I really admire them. At some point, I did
Mm.
consider joining as well, which of course my parents put their foot down and said no way. And and then I went a different route anyways.
Yeah.
But it always fascinated me how it works, how the structure works, how the command works, how you have to. It's a different kind of life.
Yeah.
And and so it was like reading the sort of stories
Yeah.
and finding the people behind the soldiers. And then it just happened to be that I
Exactly.
married a soldier as well.
You manifested it. That's
Maybe,
basically what
yeah,
happened. Yeah. You surrounded yourself with
maybe,
that information and then it was like the red car effect. You just found yourself in the
maybe,
military,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's true. Although he's a terrible writer. He knows nothing about. He's a great
Yeah.
storyteller, but he can't
Oh,
write.
he sounds like one of the
Um,
characters, if I'd say so.
maybe.
Could be.
But yeah, he helped a bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if you were to like give a short pitch on what the story is
Ooh,
about, how would you like
all right.
to go for it?
Short pitch. That one's hard.
Short or long, up to you, whatever gets it across.
Uh, Whatever comes out of my mouth.
There
All
you
right.
go.
So we're in the future, obviously, far into the future. I had one reviewer that complained that how did humans get to space? Well, this is like Star Wars. You don't really know how they got into space. It's in the future. There's
Yeah.
civilizations, alien civilizations, space travel, and all this.
Mm,
And there's been a war that's been going on for a long time, probably too long, against a species called the Vengex.
mm,
And we follow the main character who's a female, and she is a fighter pilot, and she's young enough that she's still idealistic, but maybe she's been deployed too often, and she's been in battle too often, and she's
mm,
starting to get just a little bit soured about the war, but still very proud.
mm.
And at the beginning of the book, there's an operation, a battle that goes quite south, And the result of this is that three humans and three Vengex end up being trapped in one human ship. And you can imagine what comes from here. They need to figure out a way to work together, figure out where they are, how to survive, how not to kill each other, and go on from there, which this part is, I think, is quite simple.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories that revolve around this sort of plot. The interesting thing, I think, is that was more the moral, philosophical
Mm,
dilemma that comes with this. It's about Nashtara, the main character, finding out that maybe humans are not the good ones in the story. Maybe the enemy is not that faceless killing machine that she's grown up to believe they are. They start to get to know each other, and it's kind of learning the truth of things. And
yeah.
then what do you do with the truth? Who does she want to become? Does she just follow orders? Does she, where do we go from there? And that's a bit of what I explore, which I'm really glad that readers picked up on these topics. So this is
Absolutely.
the book. Yeah.
Yeah. That that does sound really amazing. And it
Thank you.
also is incredible that you came up with that idea when you were 14 or probably earlier. How much has the
Uh,
story evolved? Like when you say that you sort
yeah.
of rehashed it in an adult version to write it for your husband,
Mm.
what kind of themes maybe went a different way, or did you just develop on the themes that you had previously written back when you were
Hmm.
14?
I think the themes were there. Don't ask
Wow.
me how I could think about this when I was 14.
You were
Because
a
they're really simple.
profound teenager.
I was a nerd that just liked to sit on my own and read and write.
I love that.
Uh, but they're really simple themes, right? It's just that it's back to people. It's always writing about people are good. For me, I believe people are good.
Mm,
Is when you get into the masses, I think that then people follow the wrong person or listen to the wrong opinion. But for me, people are good, and I've always felt that way. And I've always felt that everybody has their own story. I'm the diplomatic one in our friendship, where I see all the grays. I say, "Yeah, you're right, but you're right as well." So,
yeah,
and I've always been that kind of person. So, and this is a little bit about what the book is. So that was easy to write, and I think those themes they were always there.
yeah,
But it was very simple when I read back those versions that I have. It's embarrassingly simple, and also there's a bit of a romance subplot that goes on, as you well
yeah.
know. And it was as a 14-year-old, you really
Yeah.
and I had never dated anybody then.
You
It's
got to
too simple.
fantasize somehow.
Yeah, there was a lot of fantasizing then.
Yeah.
And
So,
I'm very naive.
was that romance between the characters that have a romantic relationship at the moment, or was it potentially another character?
No, it was the same. It was
Oh, the
always the
same. That's
same.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That other character, Briere, was
Yeah.
always the man I wanted
Rhea
him to
was the
be.
one.
Sorry, dog is.
I know,
Yeah.
he's so big. I love that.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, when I was initially reading the book, I wasn't sure which direction it was going to go, and that's not, you don't kind of realize that until
Ah,
you're midway through to the storyline,
look at
because
that. Oh,
I
good.
think like every time I read books, we meet the initial love interest, who's never the actual love interest, and then you meet
Oh,
another guy,
yeah.
and that's the love interest. So
That's
once
true.
we met Bria, I was like, you might be good, but I don't know. And
With
then we
somebody else.
exactly, and then we meet Court, and what I loved about it was that it didn't take that course of a romantic relationship between those two. It
Hmm.
actually was a really unique friendship where they were learning from each other. And that
Hmm.
kind of
Good.
developed the story. And Bria was just there on the
Yeah.
side, just waiting for
Yeah,
her to
just
make
making
her
the
way
wrong
back.
decisions. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
was a
just
hard character to write. Yeah.
because he makes all the annoying choices.
I know, but in my mind, because I was 14 when I conceived him,
Yeah.
in my mind, he was like the good man, the man I
Yeah.
wanted to marry. And then he turned out to
Yeah.
be, my first editor said many bad things about him and said
Yeah.
either you write him a little bit different or
Yeah.
people are going to hate him. And so he was hard.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that you think that because I have older male readers
Yeah.
who keep saying there's so many romantic vibes between Nashtara or Nash and Court
Yeah.
that it really looks creepy, it feels weird, and I kind of like that. I keep saying like, yeah, you
Yeah.
keep getting creeped out. This is kind of fun, but you're right. They are friends,
That's really
you
funny.
know.
And I wonder if it's
Mm.
because some of these readers may have not experienced such nuanced friendships with females that hasn't developed into
Maybe.
something romantic. So
Yeah.
in their mind, it's like the normal trajectory is it's going to become romantic. But for
Ooh.
girls, I wonder, like, I feel like for women,
It's
it's so much easier to make friends and
yeah.
keep it at friends and not see anything past it,
Yeah.
that they don't
Yeah.
think about that
I
trajectory.
I agree. Yeah, and I like how you put
Yeah.
that there. And some of these male guys are military, so all they think is what they're thinking.
Because half the time they're
Yeah.
deployed off to another country.
Yeah.
So when they're talking to a
But
woman, what else are they going to think about?
yeah, their minds are quite dirty. It's really fun to have these conversations with them.
That's so
But we have
funny.
lots of running jokes.
Yeah.
But I am trying to write because my audience, I want it to be male as well,
Mm.
and a little bit older and military directed. I do have to
Yeah.
be careful to not make it super romantic because I will lose
You
all
lose
those
those
readers.
readers. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the women do like it because we like that and we understand that yeah, you can have a very
When we
complex
want
friendship.
romance, we've got a list of books we will go to. Don't you worry. But when we want
That's
sci-fi,
true.
we want sci-fi.
What sci-fi? Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I think. Yeah.
Speaking of and you pronounce the aliens race very differently to how I've been pronouncing
I
it.
know. How do you pronounce it? Because I
Like
have to adapt to people.
Venix?
Ooh, interesting. I've
Like
had all
how,
sorts of people.
yeah, like onyx, like the word onyx, which comes up in every single book
Ah,
ever. I
that
just,
is true.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
went with Venix, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't sure if
Oh, Phoenix.
I think it's like when I read it, sometimes you just gloss over it when you can't pronounce something. So it might be like
Yeah.
Veinix or something else. Like I can't remember if the Y is before the N or after. I'm just like Venix and move on. But you
Yeah,
said,
man. Yeah.
what did you
Then
pronounce?
Vengex.
Yeah.
Probably because I wrote it in Spanish as first,
Ah.
and it reads as Vengex.
Why does Y have a
Uh,
J sound?
how do you? I'm trying to figure out. That's
I'm trying
true.
to figure out like Spanish words with Y in it. Playa. That
Ah,
is
yeah,
it
that's
a
a good one.
Y? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to now you
Playa.
make me think about
Playa.
playa. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I
I
think
used to learn
yeah,
Spanish before, that's why.
that's a very good one. That's amazing. I'm impressed.
Oh
Eh,
my gosh.
yeah.
Because I was thinking
I'm
like
trying to
ha
yeah
ha ha is ja ja ja. And that's J
yeah, but that's
sound.
with a J. Yeah,
Exactly.
but it's not ja
How
ja ja. It's
funny.
ha ha
Yeah, yeah,
ha.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a hard
exactly.
J.
How funny.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. There's no English words with a. Oh, that's gotta be. Wait a second. And I'm doing phonics with my kids. I should figure out if there's an English word with a Y that's a yeah. There's gotta be. I can't think of them
No,
right now.
exactly. But that's an interesting thing because I was thinking about that when you said the J sound. I was like, have I got my
Mm,
Spanish entirely wrong? But then at the same time, there's so many different dialects like in
yeah.
this. Like Spanish is just so hard to learn. Well,
English is hard as well because there's no
yeah,
rules.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's
There's so
true.
many. Yeah. As I'm teaching the kids to read, is that everything's a special word. Everything's a special. They call it special
Yeah,
friends too, and things like that. It's like everything's an exception.
exactly.
Yeah.
Creating the characters and the Venjex,
Vengex. You can call it
Venjex,
whatever you want.
yeah, Venjex race.
Yeah.
How did you go about constructing, I guess, like what they look like?
Mm.
Because they don't look human at all. They're completely different species, and
Yeah.
although they still have very humanistic characteristics.
Humanoid? Humanist? Yeah.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
wondering, like, what was your inspiration between creating their kind of like avatar? I was thinking
Yeah.
e Resident Evil, like those kind of movies, but could be wrong off.
Not too much. So I needed, I guess for the story to work, you need something that's similar enough that you can coexist
Yeah.
and ship and talk and have face-to-face conversations.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I did mention at the beginning of the book, which is very short, but they probably came from Earth as
Yeah.
maybe bacteria that got expelled from Earth from a
Yeah.
meteorite bombardment or something like that. So they probably share some genetic
Yeah.
traits, which is a theory of how alien life probably has expanded through the galaxy.
Yeah.
So they could have. That's my explanation of why they're similar. Sometimes it drives me nuts how in Star Wars or Star Trek everybody looks the same except with different heads.
Yeah.
It's like why would it be that way?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because
you do need it for yeah.
yeah, because you almost had to like imagine a whole different set of
Hmm.
like an anatomy structure because like some of the aliens go through injuries and you're talking about like um different breathing
Oh, yeah.
methods and all this like medical stuff. And I'm just thinking like, wow, she really had to like think about where the lungs would be placed, where the heart would be placed, what part would be
Yeah.
vital, what wouldn't. And that
Mm.
was such a well like researched or developed idea, probably not researched, but developed idea
Oh,
from your
thanks.
imagination. And I thought
Oh,
that was
thanks.
amazing. And that's why I was wondering, like, if you were, I don't know, inspired by some alien knowledge out there. But it was
Not
all
really. But
14-year-old Anna.
yeah. So I'm a vet, an animal vet.
There you go. Yeah.
So that helps.
That
For me, it's
definitely
very
has
natural. Yeah.
answers all my
Yeah.
questions right there.
Yes. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I deal with lots of species. So yeah, it's very
Yeah.
easy to yeah, like invent animals and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
Whenever I picture the aliens, I know you've described them in detail, like how they're supposed to look, but in my head, I can only picture them like with the alien emoji because on like when we use it for typing because that's the only way like you know how like we try to like make it as close to something we know. And I was like
yeah, true.
and then you would randomly mention like the toes part and then I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true. That's been happening in the book this whole time." But my brain is just not computing
You
how
just
it
see the
is.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
so cool. And
Ooh,
with the
yeah.
military tactics and setting up like
Mhm.
the military organization, and you talk about quite a few things like the concepts of obeying commands versus like the
Mm.
philosophical ideas of to what extent, yada yada
Yeah.
yada. So are these kind of
Yeah.
concepts based off your own like imagination, or did you take inspiration from maybe your husband or just knowledge that you learn, or was that like a long research process or anything like that?
Ooh, that I struggle with that one.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make it, yeah, it's hard to make it realistic when you're not in the world. And I
Mm.
didn't know anybody in the world either.
Just
Um,
had to wait 20 years.
eh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I wanted to do it respectful as well. I didn't want to
Mm.
write ridiculous characters, and then military people will be like, "This is this. Who's this lady writing
Yeah.
this?" And yeah, and they're important people. They do really important jobs. So I wanted to make it respectful as well, which is
Mm.
it was really hard for me, and I'm still really embarrassed by a lot of things, by not knowing enough about the topic.
Yeah.
And I think I just, whenever I read books or watch shows and things like that, I just try to absorb all the military
Mm.
knowledge that's coming from there. Whenever I try to research it, I think I just got more confused because the structures is complicated, the ranks are
Mm.
complicated, they're different across different services, they're different across different countries as well. Um, so it was hard. So it's just a lot of listening through the years, a lot of absorbing
Yeah.
knowledge from people, seeing the way my husband interacted with his buddies, seeing what he went through, learning the sort of the lingo that he uses.
Yeah.
For example, the word deployment. The word it's not a
Yeah.
word I knew until I met him. It's like, oh, that's what that
There
is.
you
Well,
go.
that's what you
Yeah.
call it when you get sent overseas.
Yeah.
So
Or
that
in
took a lot
space.
of years. That's true.
Yeah.
In this case, oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
amazing. And I
yeah.
completely agree because I used to be an Air Force cadet and I still can't tell you what the ranks are. Cannot
Ooh.
tell you. Have no idea. And
Oh
that's why
wow.
this book really like pulled me in when I read the blurb because
Oh.
I thought that space, Air Force, same thing really. That's
That's where
surely.
I try and go.
Yeah, right. And I
Yeah.
was inspired by the good old Top Gun, although that was Navy, but Navy
I
sounded really
know.
boring. So,
I know, yeah. Air
right.
Force sounds so much cooler. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Space even
Yeah.
better. And that's why like
I
I was
know.
so attracted to reading your book and it delivered. It delivered on all
Oh.
the military aspects as well, which I really enjoy. But I completely agree. Researching into it, like I remember having to study for the exams, the ranks and stuff, I never got the right
It's
one. And also
wow.
just like identifying it, like I would see my warrant officer, but I could not remember how many ticks he needs to be a
Oof.
warrant
Yeah.
officer. So I'd just be like, walk away before
Yeah,
I
that's
can
right.
call your name all the
My
time.
husband's always telling me about that. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like, oh, he's telling me
exactly.
about all the insignias and things and the
Yeah,
chevrons, and yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
a lot,
gone.
but it's
Yeah.
amazing.
No,
And
yeah, it's really cool.
yeah,
Mm.
and what did the process of writing Nash look like? Because she is our protagonist, and a lot of
Ooh.
times, okay, as readers, I self-insert. all the time. So whoever's,
Yeah.
if there's a female protagonist that looks even mildly like me, and she happens to be in the military, which I've had some experience in, um,
Ooh.
that's me straight away.
Well,
Also,
she's a brunette. Yeah, she's
and she's an older sister. So am
Ah,
I.
there you go.
So
So, yeah, that's perfect
exactly.
for you. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was
Yeah.
wondering, like, I know for authors as well, like
Mm,
a lot of authors I've spoken to, sometimes they get the
mm,
inspiration to write their book from some really like just, life-shaking events that happen and they channel that energy into writing a
yeah.
story. And they kind of use that like
Mm,
energy to just construct something so beautiful. And a lot of times because it's coming from a place of, I guess, just grief or excitement or
yeah.
whatever it may be, like very strong
Mm,
emotions,
that's true.
parts of the story becomes a journal. And
That's true.
it's hard to
Yeah.
avoid that because it's just you take inspiration
Mm,
from so much in life that you put that into a new world, like it's bound to
mhm.
happen. So do
That is
you
so
think,
true.
yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
any of
I
your
know.
life or your characteristics have gone into Nash or any of the other characters in there? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's almost embarrassing to admit. But Nash, in a way, she has a lot of my traits,
Yeah.
but and she's tall and she's
Mm.
brunette.
Mm. I
I'm
wonder
not saying
who's
any
like
of
that.
that. Um, but also she has what I wanted to be, especially
Mm.
when I was younger. So she's a lot. She's brave. She's honest. She's
Mm.
strong. She's resilient. All these traits that I didn't think I had.
Mm.
And then I wanted to have them. So in a way, I wrote it as the person that I wanted to be,
Yeah.
which is dangerous because you can
It's too much self-reflection.
maybe, yeah, and you end up writing a person that maybe is not realistic or
Mm.
putting too much emotion into that person. And in book two, which you haven't read yet, but by the time
Not
this
yet.
episode
Yeah.
comes out, hopefully you will have.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, some of the better feedback is that maybe I overshot.
Really?
Yeah,
In what ways
so
do you believe?
so you know how she's very stubborn.
Yep.
She does whatever she wants when she
And I
wants
love
to.
that about her.
I know, yeah, and that's I wish I could do that in my life. And I
Yeah.
know I just follow orders. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes I kind of go out the rails a bit. But but as I try to get that sort of trait
Mm.
in her, maybe at some point you can't just be stubborn through life always,
Yeah.
especially if you're in the military, especially as you get older and things and you mature.
Mm.
So at some point, some of the feedback is she's just a bit too much. She's becoming arrogant. She's becoming too
Yeah.
stubborn. She's becoming either she kind of pulls back and self reflects on this, or her arc is not going to make any sense.
Mm.
Because in the end, you want to have a character that has an arc.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta like the
Yeah,
protagonist.
yeah, exactly. Or hate
Yeah.
them or whatever. But
Yeah.
it has to sort of be a feeling that
Mm.
makes not just a hate because of hate or just be annoyed at them. You have to feel
Exactly.
something for them, I think.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
That's
that is very interesting that I overshot. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a very
Mm,
it's I feel like it's very difficult to write, especially second books, because first one is
mm,
like you're setting up the story, you're excited about it, you know that everything is going to be sort of
yeah.
new for the reader because they're reading it for the first time. They don't know this world,
Hmm.
they don't know anything about it. So you get to explore that as much as you want. But then in the second book, you have to keep that conflict alive, keep that conflict
Yeah.
going, but it has to deepen the characters and their arc, and as well as like push
Mm,
the fo story forward. And both of them have to be intertwined. But you also know
yeah.
that the readers know the world, so they don't need over explanation. But also, you
Mm.
can't resolve the whole conflict in this book because there's another book that's going to be after that. So
That's
it's a
true. Well,
tricky
sort of,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
these
what
are
are the
two.
plans? Is it a duology?
So this is a
Novellas
duology,
and
yeah.
stuff? Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a duology. And well, there's a story behind that as well.
Yeah.
And then there'll be well, my head has two trilogies after that, set later in time.
Same
But
universe?
same universe,
Yeah.
same characters to
Mhm.
an extent. But yeah. But yeah, this is a duology.
Okay.
But the reason it's a duology is because remember, I wrote this for myself. There was
Mm.
no purpose of publishing.
Yeah.
I had no idea how it worked.
Yeah.
I did it on my own, didn't ask for help, had no idea. You can't just publish a book that is 250K words long because who's
Yeah.
going to read that? So these two books were actually one book.
That makes
And at
sense.
some point, I realized that it's too long and I had to split them. And I split them probably 10 years ago, 8 years ago,
Mm,
when I moved to the UK, which is about 10 years ago. I
yeah.
remember that very clearly. And so, yeah. But there's a very clear cutting point, which is where you
I
stop.
screamed. I got
So sorry.
so
I've
annoyed.
been called many names.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
really happy about it, but I was on my Kindle and read. It
Yeah.
was like till the last line, and then I go to the next one. It's like acknowledgements. I'm like, hello.
Nothing.
Yeah,
I know, yeah. And it's building, it's building, it's building, and then nothing.
I know,
Yeah,
and that's what that
I
makes
know.
sense that you just chose like the build up moment and just went like, yeah, I'm done.
Yep. But once you read the second one, it'll make sense because
Exactly.
part two, there's I guess I can sort of spoil it. Oh, not spoil
Yeah,
it, but
go for it.
uh,
Especially like what can we expect from the part two? What can we expect from the second
ah,
book?
so there's a massive time jump.
Oh,
So
really?
where we left the characters, that's
Yeah,
where they're stuck for a long time.
I'm
And
not okay with that. Because I have been desperate to go back to Earth for the whole book now.
now you have to read it again.
Literally.
But yeah, there's a massive time jump, and then well, you read the blurb, and
Mm,
that's what happens. How do they get out of that situation? But all those relationships that we've been building throughout book one, they are solidified.
mm.
But as many friendships and many romantic relationships in real life happen, they a few years into them,
You get
sometimes
bored of them.
you
Gotta move on.
exactly that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And things start to go wrong and they get boring
Yeah.
and annoying and you start to hate the person that maybe is your friend
Mm.
and it's kind of what happens from there.
I mean, they've all
There you go.
not had the best start. It's been a rough journey from the
That
get-go.
is true. That
So,
is very true. Yeah.
friends made in like tough times might not actually be your friends in normal times.
Yeah, good point.
Right? Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
that's
Hmm.
very interesting because something that I actually like felt I think what made like the
Hmm.
story really full circle for me with just book one was Briar's arc coming to
Ah,
the end. Because
that's true.
I like I I liked his character because I know that
Hmm.
that man is just following orders. He's doing his job. He's
That's
just
true.
way too good at his job. But I just need him to stop it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And the thing is
Yes.
that he's in a position of power as well because he is the leader of Nash and the other
Yeah, and
military
Kapoor.
subjects
Yeah.
on board. So the responsibility falls on him because we do know like how the military is going to treat him and all the decisions he makes
Yeah.
when and if he
When
gets
they
it back
get
to
back.
exactly. So I
Exactly.
completely sympathized with his character, but then I think it was literally Anna, the last freaking chapter, which I can't believe you did that in the last freaking chapter.
I know. Yeah, 2 pages before it finished.
Exactly. Where
Hmm.
he has this entire like out of like agitation, exhaustion, and just frustration.
Yeah, and just being fed up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
fair enough. But has this
Yeah.
moment where he just releases like all his anguish about his own dilemmas that he's had with the military and the aliens and how throughout this journey he's trying to be just as accepting of the aliens because he can see that they're just
That
like
are people.
exactly they're
Yeah.
just like them.
Hmm.
And he's questioned it before everything happened as well. And to see that he's been battling with that for this whole journey, that touched my heart because I just
Yeah.
it
Oh,
for
I'm
a
so glad.
moment, yeah, because it was like at that moment
Hmm.
I just realized that every decision that I'm saying that like, oh, he's so
Hmm.
annoying. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Like
Uh-huh.
the poor guy,
Yeah.
he knows that. He completely knows that
Yeah.
everyone's been blaming him and he knows they're going to blame him. And he
Hmm.
just is continuing to make those decisions, but he's struggling with it the whole time.
Yeah. And he's struggling with his relationship with Nash or lack of relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
And
was
yeah, that's
so
amazing that you caught that. Yeah.
oh, and I was so annoyed that you ended it right after that because I was like, I just need to give him a hug. He just
Oh,
needs a hug.
that's how I felt too.
Right?
Yeah.
And Nash
Yeah.
was just, and at that point, Nash was very annoying. I was like, girl, sit down, just listen.
Aha. And
Because
that's
I
kind
was
of
like, you've been
yeah.
very vocal about your issues throughout this book, and I mean, I've related to it as a reader, but
Ah.
this is Bria's time to shine. Can you just like
Yeah. Can you just shut up? Yeah.
exactly go to the corner, let him have
Yep.
his moment,
Yeah.
and to see like his friendship evolve with Court as well, but also
Mm.
he kept having like. I guess a little bit of jealousy
Mm.
that Nash and Court are getting too close.
I
But
know, yeah.
exactly. And yeah, and to see like those friendships come kind of like together is
Mm.
was very, very sweet, very wholesome. And it was like
Oh,
found family, but like through
yeah, in a way.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is a topic that everybody loves, I think. Yeah, I love it too.
absolutely. Mm.
Yeah, you got the gist perfectly well, and I'm so glad that you did.
I am
Because as a
so
writer,
glad that
you
I picked it
yeah.
up. Um,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
in terms of like pacing the story, so
Hmm.
something that I don't know if it was intentional or if it was just because the story progressed that way. What I
Yeah.
really, really enjoyed about the storytelling was the first sort of like 30% of the book we were on Earth. All these things are
Yeah.
wrong, someone dies, there's almost a murder mystery, and then more
Yeah.
people die and there's more things going on, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. What I loved was like first 30% of the book we spent that time on Earth in the military really understanding the military aspects and what the conflict is and what the higher ups think and
Mm.
what the soldiers basically think, what their
Yeah.
motivations, what the ethics are, etc. And then we spend about 30 to 40% on the ship. And in the ship, we're going to other ships and back to the ship, and there's a lot going on in there. And
Mhm.
something I think is very like it's honestly a testament to your writing style because I think it is so hard for authors to just place a story in one setting because they can't leave the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
true.
exactly, they can't leave the ship. They have
Yeah.
to be on the ship. And yet
They're
you
stuck.
kept that 40% of the book almost very interesting. I was hooked the whole
Oh,
time.
thanks.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
thanks.
and
Yeah.
then we go to another part of the book where we're completely in a new destination, new location, new horror story, and
Yeah.
we have a completely different storyline going on there, but we also have a completely different setting. And now that opens up to a little bit more mystery. But the first two parts, especially, we're in two separate locations and we don't
Hmm.
move out of it. And that's so hard to write. And I was wondering, were there parts of the story that's been edited out or come into the story that's kind of like shaped how this structure has followed, or 14-year-old Anna just knew what to do.
Well,
She just knew what's up.
no, 14-year-old Anna did not know what to do. If I show you what I wrote, some of it is horrible.
Oh, I
But the
highly
ship
doubt.
was hard. I was a 14-year-old, yeah, no way.
Yeah.
When they're in, when they're trapped in that ship,
Yeah.
which I probably also pronounce different to people, but it's the Namrak.
Yeah, I did not pronounce it
Uh,
that way.
Interesting. How do you pronounce it? This is really interesting.
Definitely not that. And I'd have to look at the word again, but I can
Yeah,
guarantee you it's not that.
it is a weird word as well.
But
I don't know why I named it that.
I think
Um,
sometimes, especially when they are words like of different languages, I think because
mm,
when you're reading and you just kind of want to know what's going on next, you kind of just
yeah,
ignore.
you don't
You're
pronounce
like,
it. Yeah,
it's something. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Anytime I see a word
yeah, I
similar
do
to
that
that, I'm
too.
like, okay, that's what that is.
That's the word. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do the same thing as well. And
Yeah.
then someone makes a movie out of it and they pronounce it completely different. It's like, oh,
Oh, it's always a jump scare.
yeah, that's true. But well, back to this, yeah. So it was hard to write the ship because I feel like every time I'm writing it, I'm just writing like, and she went to the bridge, and they went to the bridge, and I walked to the bridge.
Yeah.
And that sentence drives me nuts. And sometimes I say, as usual, I walked to the bridge, or I sat in the bridge in my usual chair because there's a lot of
Mm.
just thinking and talking around in the bridge area.
Because
And
it
that's
is
yeah,
that. And that's why
yeah.
it is hard to write that. But it was so well done because
Oh,
we
thanks.
see like the different conflicts, there's tension. We know none of them can leave. We have that moment of the
Mm.
Spider-Man moment, but like with guns, with all
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
you
And
know what I mean?
who's gonna kill who? Yeah,
And it's just a
yeah.
chain reaction. There's different agendas going on. There's different
Hmm.
rules set in place to make sure that no one can plan something against the other species. And
Hmm.
I know the whole point of that ship scene is to build a relationship between the enemies, basically.
Yeah.
And for them to see. what makes them similar and looking
Hmm.
past the differences. But it's so
Yeah.
hard to achieve like an interesting storyline with that. And I loved
Yeah.
like the ship part was my favorite part of the book. I
Oh,
loved it
thanks.
so much. It was so interesting. It was like a cat and mouse chase the whole time.
It is, yeah, and I feel like I don't know why the two hallways that go to the bridge. In my mind, they're constantly doing like this.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It makes no
it's
sense
just
that there's
Tom and
two
Jerry.
hallways.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them, back and forth, back and forth. And then they all have these different relationships with each other. Because Bria and Tirst, they get along because they work a lot on the
Mm,
engines and things like that. And then Kapoor's the pilot, and then there's
mm,
another quiet Vengex, and so they all kind of start, and that develops. But yeah, they're just going around in circles. But it was easy to write in a way because there's one setting, and I don't have to imagine all this world out there,
mm.
which then I have to do in book two because the
Yeah.
setting the settings become much bigger. But it was harder because it becomes boring setting sometimes. So that's I don't know. That's why I had to get them out into the other ship that they go into and
Yeah.
then do something else and come back. But thanks. I'm glad that it worked out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you
Yeah.
did have that moment where you brought them into another ship where they have to basically do like a little mini mission. Um,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
that like severed communication between the leaders and their
And
subjects
these,
or
yeah.
subjects or what's it
Well,
called?
one's yeah, I guess one's
Yeah,
subordinate. Yeah.
subordinates. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The
No.
leaders and their subordinates, like it's set communication barrier. It's set like
Yeah.
there were plans in place, but they don't know how to execute it. They're waiting for the signals and have you murdered these people yet? Can we start murdering other people yet? Right. And
Yeah.
it's like it
Yeah.
was so interesting how that was used as a tool to cause more chaos and more conflict
Yeah. More
because
conflict.
when they
Yeah.
return to the ship, everyone's just like, what's going on?
I know what's going on.
What's been
Yeah.
discussed? What happened
Yeah.
behind the scenes? And I loved the mystery of it because as readers, we know exactly what's going on,
Oh.
but we know the characters have
Oh.
no idea. Right.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is what's going to happen. Yeah. No, I'm
Um,
glad.
and when you were, so we know that like the Vengex speak a different
Mhm.
language.
Nice.
Um,
Oh,
and
yes.
and there's repeated like sound words or language style that's used. And I know we spoke
Yeah.
about this earlier, but I was just thinking, is
Mm.
this a Lord of the Rings situation where we're creating a new language? And have you got the grammar and the alphabet and all
Oh,
that system
no
there?
way. Nothing.
No,
This is me. I'm not that smart or that organized.
I highly doubt that,
No, I
but
cannot do it.
I mean,
But that's, yeah.
it takes a different level of just focus, I'd imagine, like to build a
Mm.
whole new language and execute
Yeah.
new books. But I like that they had repeated like sounds and words and stuff like that. Like it wasn't just like
Yeah.
gibberish. There was
Like, blah,
some
blah,
kind
blah.
of
Yeah.
pattern and like recognition to it. So when it came up
Hmm.
multiple
I
times, that's
managed.
why I thought that, oh, maybe she's
They're speaking
constructed
it.
a whole language out there.
Ah. Ooh, I managed to make people believe that when it's absolutely not true.
Exactly,
I
right?
did a good job. Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. Why not?
But no, it literally was me on the keyboard, like just let's
Really?
blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I do try to keep a lot of the C, K,
Yes.
J
Yeah.
sounds, the hard J, the T's, a bit like their names sound, Valkad, Kort, Tirst. So
Yeah.
those sounds, those hard consonants, I think I try to keep them there. And a few words that emerge, like there's one that's an insult, that's makansea. I don't
What
know
was
why I
that?
chose
Oh, the word. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
word makans.
I
Yeah.
was like, whose name was that? But yeah, no.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
that's an insult. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I repeat that as an insult
yeah,
later
yeah.
on.
Exactly.
But overall, yeah, no, I'm not smart enough to create a language. And yeah.
No, but I love that. And
Thanks.
I'll probably teach my kids if you want to say bad words, that's the one you say because no one's gonna.
Ooh, that's true. Yeah, let's do that. I like it.
Yeah, right?
I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would you say was like the most difficult part of writing your story or rewriting it
Mm,
for an English audience from a Spanish audience? Like, did it change or did it
mm,
just develop along the way?
So the audience was always the huge nerd community probably in English because I
Yeah.
used to read a lot of books in English back
Mm.
then. So that never changed. I think sci-fi, fantasy readers worldwide, we're all the same,
Yeah.
regardless of the language we speak. We're very similar.
Yeah.
But I think from what I've seen, the hardest part was definitely the military for me.
Yeah.
Making it real, making it grounded, making it human, making it, respectful. That was the hardest part, and I still struggle with it.
Yeah.
And I've gotten together with these veteran guys that I keep asking them questions. And the reason why we ended up
Yeah.
becoming friends is because one of them picked up my book. And when he said he was reading it, I said, "Can I please ask you a favor? Just anything military, just tell me. Just tell me
Yeah.
if it's wrong, if it just rings wrong." And then he started giving me feedback, and it's evolved quite a bit.
Wow.
And you might have seen it, but it's the KFL group, the Kinetic Frontline group.
Oh yeah.
You might have seen it in my
Oh, he
posts.
they helped you
Yeah.
publish it. Oh no, or like sell it through their website or something?
So it's just indie authors, and the idea of
Oh,
it is
there you
just
go. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just with it because when you put a name or logo or something, the books sort of become a bit more like
Mm,
well, it looks like it's gone through a publisher, so it must be a good book. So it gives you a bit of
yeah.
cachet. But the idea is just to get a group of authors together. I mean, want to expand and just help each other with better reading, with feedback, and try to bring the
Mm,
cost down a little bit as well. And it's been really helpful because right now there's three of us, two of them are veterans. So there's a lot of feedback on these romantic vibes with the
yeah.
aliens, and that's become a running joke. And
Yep.
then there's a lot of military feedback as well. And then I give them a lot of feedback on writing maybe more not
Pursuit
human
the
side, but more
female.
the civilian side. Yeah, more the female perspective of it.
Yeah.
So
That's
it works really
awesome.
well, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love that it's
Uh,
got that collaborative approach because I think that's also something that helps keep authors motivated with stories that take so long to
yeah,
construct. And
yeah.
it's a long process, it's a taxing process, especially alongside your own
Mm.
professions that you may have and careers that you may have.
Yeah, and life. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Writing is
exactly.
lonely, so it becomes much better when you can share it with someone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's taken me
Yeah.
way too long to figure that one out.
And now you've got it.
Ah, yeah.
And
Now we got it. Yeah.
yeah. And
Mm,
what would you
yeah.
say, like, as a self-published indie author, has been, I guess, the most the thing you've struggled with the most and the thing you've, I
Oh,
guess, had the most, I guess, say in as an indie author?
the thing I struggled with the most was getting myself out in social media.
Yeah, I think that's the
Uh,
common one. It
yeah, I
is
think so.
hard.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we're not built for this. Because we're all
Marketing is
creative people, right?
hard.
You as well. And marketing is hard. And
Yeah.
it takes so much time, and it's not what I want to do. I want to
And there's
write.
so many people who are just so damn good at it.
Yeah, well, there's people that have careers built in this, and we're supposed to
Exactly.
be marketing experts suddenly. Which is a conversation I was having with someone yesterday. But that was the hardest part. And I don't know if you know this, but I published a book first under a different title, a
Mm.
different cover.
Spark or
Um,
something, was it?
yeah, The First Spark.
The first spark. I do
Yeah,
prefer War Beyond Galaxies.
thank you. But the first part made sense. It's the first part of our anyways, wrong
Ah,
title.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But this was because I did it alone. I was so embarrassed to get
Mm.
out there to ask for questions. The only people that knew I wrote was my parents, my brother, my husband, and my kids, and that's
Yeah.
it in the world. And this was probably like 9 months ago.
Oh,
My
really?
editor. Yeah, because I published it in March.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
I put it up in KDP, up in Amazon, and just sort of hope for a miracle, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a friend of mine who does a lot of social stuff kept telling me like, you need to, because I think I had to ask her a question at some point, so I needed to tell her like I write books, and she was shocked, and then she
Yeah.
told me like you need to get out there, you need to get in social. It's like no, 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 I'm not going to do that. It's embarrassing. I mean, I don't know how to do it. People that, and here we are.
Here we are.
And it's been a ride.
Eh,
But
I can
yeah,
imagine. I
yeah,
mean, I have a book account and I find that hard, just finding the right
yeah,
aesthetic, finding, because I'm like, I read books.
mm,
Why are people out there not only reading books, but are incredible at taking photos of books? I'm so bad at
yeah,
taking photos of books.
yeah, exactly. And
Trying
talking
to
to
figure
people
out
and
another way.
making,
Yeah.
yeah. And this is fantastic what you're doing, but this takes so
Exactly.
much time. Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah.
This is so much easier than taking photos.
See, for me.
Absolutely. I mean, if you've seen my page, like I don't take photos of books anymore. I create collages
Ah,
because
that's true. Yeah.
I just make the worst photos in the world and it makes me want to vomit. So
Interesting.
I abandoned that plan entirely and now I do unboxings or create collages with my reviews. So at least
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's fun as well because then I can like
That's
really
true.
think
Yeah.
about the book and add those images.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have to set up a backdrop or find a camera quality. Blah, no, can't do it.
And then you doing a podcast, which is to
Exactly.
me it blows my mind. So how? What?
Yeah, podcast is fine. Easy.
Oh my goodness! You have to sit with us and listen to us talk for an hour.
Oh, that's my, it's
That sounds
definitely
awful.
my pleasure more than yours, trust me.
Oof.
I can attest to that. No, I think like with like you said, like marketing is definitely hard, but I was wondering, do you create all your graphics, all your reels, all of that yourself?
Yeah, which that's why they don't look professional.
No, that's
And
why
then,
I was gonna say they look amazing.
what? Oh, thank you.
And what about your cover? Because your cover, like your book cover, is
Ooh, the cover.
beautiful. I
Thanks.
love it. I absolutely love like the purple.
I
Obviously we've got Nash in there. I'm hoping that's still Nash, but um,
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
exactly like how in my mind, but yeah, that's
yeah.
her.
What was the cover creating process like?
Oof, it was a nightmare. That one, I think I have gray hair because of that cover.
Really?
So that was the fourth cover.
I
And
see.
I love it, and thank
Yeah,
God I love it. But the first one was the first spark, which completely looked like an alien romantic book.
yeah,
Which again, I got a lot of jokes out of that with
yeah,
these friends.
yeah.
The second cover, instead of the characters, had a ship, but it
Mm,
still looked. I like very realistic covers,
mm,
which not everybody likes, but it still looked a bit not cartoonish, but young adult.
mm.
Um, the typography was very much fantasy, very curvy letters. It was very small.
Oh,
The third cover, what was the third cover? There's another third cover on there. And I went through two illustrators in Fiverr. The
yeah,
first one was amazing. The first one did the big, I don't know if you've seen it, the wormhole with the purple colors and the
yeah,
blade. Um, the problem is that him and we didn't communicate well. I told him something, he answered something different. It was like we were speaking different languages.
yeah, yeah.
But his art was amazing. The second one, we communicated really well. She was super nice, but I don't think she grabbed the sci-fi, military
Mm.
sci-fi vibe. And
You
she
got
did
the
two
alien
covers.
romance vibe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Damonza, which they're Australian or from New Zealand, your
Who,
side of the
sorry?
world, I think. Damonza?
Yeah, never heard of them,
Yeah.
but I'll check them out.
Have a look at them.
Yeah.
But at some point, they offered to do a free cover review when I was
Oh,
on all this turmoil. Like, what in
that's
the world do I
lovely.
do with this cover? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sent them my cover, and stupidly, the email and report that I got back, I opened it at 1 in the morning in the middle of a holiday vacation with my family, and it was terrible, the report. And I couldn't sleep all night long, and that destroyed my whole holiday. So, the moral of the story: do not open work emails
Yeah.
in the middle of the night. And
Just brutally honest.
yeah, it was brutally honest, but it was very detailed. It was numbered. There was comparison to other covers and then genres. It was I was like, wow, I showed it to different
Yeah.
people. This was an amazing review,
That's
and they did
quite
their job well.
interesting though that they would
Yeah,
provide that service. I think that's actually like of course it's hard to take
yeah,
feedback and criticism no matter who you are. Um, but
yeah.
that sounds
But
really helpful.
yeah, but it did the job. They
Yeah.
caught me as a client, and I'm gonna go back to them.
There you go.
Because they did such a good job, and I was blown away when I did the cover. They're a lot more pricey than the illustrators I went through.
Mm.
But still, compared to what I've heard other people paying, they're not that terrible.
What is the kind of like, if you are allowed to say,
Yeah,
and not about
yeah,
them specifically, like what do the prices for like covers and stuff look like for illustrating book
yeah.
covers?
So the freelancers that I found in Fiverr, I've paid probably about 200, no, 300 for
Yeah.
one cover.
Yeah.
No AI and
Mm.
mainly done with photo bashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
do they get like a, I
Hmm.
guess, I don't know, like if say the book blows up, becomes a big deal, do they get any kind of like percentage share?
Nah,
Nothing, just
nothing. The
yeah,
cover's mine, the
yeah.
graphics are mine. I do
And
whatever
all
I
the
want with
rights go
them.
to you. Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Damonza, I ended up paying, I think, 800 because
Mm,
it was probably what they call the budget cover, which is the cover, which is
yeah.
for me amazing. It was about 400 or four something US
Mm,
dollars. And then for formatting for paperback, hardback, and the little video thing that they made me, I ended up paying, yeah, seven, 800, something like that. But I've heard people paying 1,500 for their covers
oh
from
my
people
gosh.
that weren't, yeah,
Yeah.
1,500, 2,000. So I've 800, 1,000. So
It
you got to be
varies. Yeah.
prepared to spend some money, and it varies, and it's finding the right people,
Yeah.
and that's hard. Yeah.
And do they
Um,
basically like read your book and develop a
nope.
cover based on that or just based on what you tell
No.
them?
Based on what you tell them. I with this last company, I was super detailed. It took me hours to write. So it goes to the website. There's an area there where what you want to cover,
Yeah.
give them links of the aesthetic you like and
Mm.
things like that. And I pretty much wrote like these are my characters.
A
These are
little
the main
thesis.
elements of
Yeah.
the ship, the planet, the big ships, the fighters. So I wrote a bit
Mm.
of everything. And the feeling of Nash is the glue, and the feelings
Mm.
of conflict, and blah 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 blah. But someone else told me that they sent them a chapter, one of the main
Yeah.
chapters of the book. Someone else told me they did that, and they did it with the same company. But all these people, they don't read your book. They have no idea.
That's so
So
interesting. Because
it's very
another
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, another author I spoke to on this podcast,
Hmm.
he his illustrator read about 70% of his book
Ooh,
before preparing the
nice.
cover. And I mean, I can see from the cover, like there's so many elements of the book that come up way later in the story. And
Ooh.
I had the same question for him, like, did he go through like a process of explaining
Hmm.
every aspect of it? And he goes, no, I just sent my book to him. He read 70% of it and made the cover, and I loved it.
Ooh.
So
I
I
probably need to suggest this next time.
Yeah, I think it definitely
Ah,
like it's different. Just
it
depends, I
makes a
guess, on
difference.
different illustrators of the companies you go through. But I mean, clearly your company did a great job because it absolutely
They did,
captured the
yeah.
essence of it. Yeah, and it's a
Yeah,
beautiful
that's true.
cover. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, thanks. I'm in love with it. I hope they do the same job. And I want the same
yeah.
illustrator for the
There you go.
second
Yeah,
book. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
gonna start that process soon. Yeah.
I'm so glad that it worked out. It sounds like going through four different versions is
Yeah,
hard, and to
that
figure
was
out what.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you start asking for opinions and everybody tells you something different.
Mm.
Everybody with the best intention, but everybody's taste is different. And they don't
And
want to
then
hurt
you
your
have
feelings
to.
if they don't know you. Yeah.
Exactly. How do you find
Yeah.
that process of like taking feedback from friends, family, or even now like on Goodreads, your readers, your ARC readers, like
Ooh.
how is that how does that look like for you? Do you just ignore the bad ones? You're like, yeah, whatever. Not for them.
I wish.
Move on. Um,
I wish the arc reading process has given me a lot of confidence though.
oh
Because I've
God,
had,
yeah.
I mean, your review was amazing when you just put that there like, I can't believe you did that. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was my feelings.
Um,
Those were my thoughts.
yeah, that was such a funny review.
Yeah.
Um, and then, but yeah, seeing everybody give good reviews, which they are arc readers, and a lot of people, we've gotten to be close through Instagram, so I'm sure they're giving better reviews than what they maybe think.
Mm,
Some people have been brutally honest, and that's fine. But in general, it's given me a lot of confidence because I've always been terrified of the bad reviews. I'm always
mm,
terrified of bad feedback, and I posted about this before. This horrible imposter syndrome. For me, it manifests as I am terrified of bad feedback. I'm
yeah.
terrified to put myself out there, or terrified of failure. So that's
Yeah.
always been hard. Yeah,
Ah,
and for a lot of people, right?
I don't
Yeah,
like feedback unless it's compliments. Don't
yeah.
talk to
Same
me.
here. I was like, don't
Yeah.
give me feedback.
If you don't like it, don't talk to me. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I'll live in my bubble of ignorance.
and it's
Yeah.
hard because like I know that sometimes the readers mean it from the best intentions, but you can never tell if
Mm,
it's just their frustration or what else, or if they're not the right
yeah.
audience and
Oh, they don't like the
has
book. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And it's hard
Yeah.
to Or if this is even their genre that they usually read in. I think
Hmm.
that's a big one because I think sometimes we're just trying to explore different genres, but then we read something and we're like,
Hmm.
that wasn't for me. I don't
Yeah.
like that at all. But you see all these 5-star reviews, and then I get confused. I'm like, how did so many people like this book? I didn't like this at
And
all.
I did
Yeah, and
it.
then you start to
Yeah.
realize like it's a little bit like there's definitely it's a subjective
Hmm.
process. But
Yeah. But you gotta
the
be careful. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. And how has it been like as an author, as well as you have
Mm.
like your personal career and you've got kids as well?
Mm.
Are they interested in reading because of you or writing because of you? Or
Oh.
not at all, completely opposite.
My eldest, I can making her read is like pulling teeth, and she's 8 years old. Oh
Really?
my God, it kills, and she's got such an imagination, and she's so creative. She loves doing
Oh,
crafts and drawing, but making her read is it kills my soul.
really?
But yeah, but we're just reading. We just finished a book by an indie author
Hmm.
for kids called oh my goodness, Emily's Cosmic Journey to the Moon.
Yeah.
And I keep telling her like I know the author. I want to tell him you like it, and it's taken us months to get it read. But we finally finished it, and then she wrote the review with me. Oh, I typed it, but she
Yeah.
was telling me what the review was, and I could see the excitement in her face. And then
Mm,
the author wrote back. Well, saw the review, wrote back at
yeah.
me. Thank you for Natalia's review. That was amazing. And then he told me like, oh, as a surprise, she can name one of the planets in my next book.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
yeah. And I was like, oh, she's gonna love this. And now she's so excited. So I'm trying to bring into the journey, and it's about space
Yeah.
as well. So one of my dreams was to be an astronaut, which
Mm,
big dreams.
same. Except I live in
Yeah,
Australia
right.
and we don't have a space station, so that dream died.
Well, I lived in Spain, so
Yeah.
I wasn't going anywhere with that either.
Yeah. At least you can marry
Yeah,
into the US. I was like, where am I
that's
gonna
true.
go?
Well, you too.
Yeah, true. Maybe.
Oh, but yeah, I'm really excited now that my daughter likes space.
Yeah.
The little one is a bit more, sure, she's a free soul, but the little one, Natalia, the older one, she's more into space now. She wants to be an astronaut.
I love that.
She likes Star Wars. She likes the Jedi.
Yeah.
I don't know why, how.
Oh, the natural growth of
Maybe, but I don't. Where she get? No, the husband. That's
yeah.
he's been reading comic books from Star Wars to her since she was a
You're
baby.
also an author of a sci-fi book, so I feel like she's heard enough things about space to be interested in Star
Yeah,
Wars.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very true. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, hopefully we're getting her there.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also love that like she's a very imaginative girl, but clearly I think she's reading as equivalent to studying, and maybe that's why
Hmm.
she's like I don't want to
Yep.
study. I just want to imagine and all that stuff, but
Yeah, my mom's telling me to read again.
exactly.
Yeah.
But once she gets
Yeah.
into it, oh, then you'll have a shelf like this. Where it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
gorging
And
through books.
then yeah,
Yeah.
and then she'll be doing what I did to my dad. Is that my dad was always like, if you want to spend in books, I'll pay whatever. I will come up with stacks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I get the opposite, but I earn my money, so they can't tell me what to do anymore.
Yeah, you can buy whatever you want.
Have you, like,
Maybe.
when you read these other space-related books or listen to them,
Hmm.
whatever, however you interact with them, do you find that they influence your writing, or do you ever like get ideas that like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I included this in the story, or I wish I
Oh
will, or something
yes.
like, yeah, really?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, because my book took me so long to write, I
Yeah.
remember in each section, I can tell which books I was reading at the time
Oh my gosh,
based on
really?
how I, yeah, because I get influenced really easily, and because I'm so amazed by everything that I read and how
Yeah.
people write it that I just want to write it the same way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can tell how it kind of goes up and down in different aspects, and that's why I have a little bit of romance, a little bit of adventure, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of it goes
It's a
into
full
the that's
package.
yeah, but then who's my target audience? It's a bit it
But
makes it a
I
bit difficult.
Yeah, but I think that's really interesting that you can do that because I think as a
Hmm.
reader as well, I could like I don't know which books you were inspired by, but I can definitely see like a wave in the trajectory of the story and the way like
Yeah,
the feelings change and shift and the storyline starts to shift as well. So I think that's part of the reason why it felt so unique and the
maybe.
whole time I was reading it just felt new and new and newer because it was influenced by
Okay.
different concepts of books.
let's call it unique,
Yeah.
or rather than
Let's
chaotic.
do that. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
That's really cool.
But
Do you
yeah,
have,
it does happen to me a lot. Yeah, and movies
yeah.
as well. It's like it's just admiration and just
Mm,
wanting to write and have the conversations that I hear in movies and things like that in my book.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
yep, yep,
see
yep, yep.
it very cinematically in your head when you write and read your books?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Um, and what do you think, what would you want like readers to take away from your story, like the entire duology
Hmm.
together?
That was hard, but it's a lot of just thinking a little bit or having your own thoughts. Just looking. It's important to look at the world from your
Mm,
own lens, and not just do what you're told or believe in what you've been told you have to believe.
mm,
Um, just the people that are in front of you, the people you meet, judge them in your own way, in your own, with your own words, with your own thoughts, and don't just follow the norm. But at the same time, it does take courage and it does take a lot of strength to do that, and that's
yeah.
okay. That's part of growing up. That's part of maturing. That's part of life.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, being open and accepting different things, that people are different, that we all have the same common goal, whether we're alien or not. I think everybody just wants to live in peace and
yeah.
have a family or leave a legacy and be happy and reproduce and I think that's important that we all have that common goal. We're not evil by nature. And I want people to see that, and that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I think
Yeah.
so. It's like
Ooh.
be open to being curious and questioning everything,
Yeah.
but also
Hmm.
know when it's okay to stop.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you get it wrong, you get it wrong,
You get it
and
wrong.
you keep
Yeah.
going.
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Well, what's
Yeah.
the saying? Like you can
Huh.
you can fix a broken car, but you can't fix a car that doesn't exist. So,
Ooh, that's a good one.
right,
Huh.
said by Jay
Yeah.
Kristoff, author of Empire of the
Nice.
Vampire.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and it's profound, even though it's something so
Yeah.
simple, but it's absolutely the case. Like, you just got to give things a
Mm.
go. You just got to question it, and if it's wrong, you'll figure it out, or you'll go to jail, but you'll get out of it
Yeah,
eventually.
that's so true. Yeah. You can't fail if you
Yeah,
didn't try. Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Yep, yep, yep.
I have one last question for you, and it's
All right.
probably the most difficult one. Um, all the authors I've spoken to have struggled with this one.
Uh-oh.
If you were to pick one song that represents
Ah.
your
Goodbye.
book or any aspect of your book or any sort of relationship or anything
Huh.
like or one of the songs that helped your writing journey or anything like that. But yeah, one song. It's only one song, Anna.
Out of gazillions of
Yeah.
songs out there, and I'm also terrible at songs. Um,
Do you have any clue what you would pick?
oh, there's one that's in my mind, but it's probably because it's related to a scene in a movie.
Oh, really? Which one?
Oh man. Um, you probably don't know it though because it's a hard one to find. It's called Running to the Light. And the group is Run Rig, which I think is quite old. And I heard it for the first time in the movie Titan AE, which is based on a book. It's a
Running through the
cartoon
light, did
running
you
to
say?
the light. I think it is.
I'm trying to find it.
It's a hard. I'm gonna have to send it to you because it's a hard one to find.
Oh, really? Not even on YouTube.
It's old, I think.
To be
Put
fair, my answer would have been so basic, like Interstellar, the main theme song,
ooh,
and go with that.
yeah,
But I love this running through the
running to the light,
to the light.
and the group is Run Rig.
Oh,
Run
found
as
it.
in running,
It
rig.
is 17 years ago.
Oh my God, 70. Wow.
17 years ago.
Ah,
The
17.
that's not too bad.
No, it's older because the movie came out. All right.
Oh, maybe it just came on YouTube like 17 years ago.
Yeah, this is probably 80s or so, I think.
Oh yeah, I can see the aesthetic of it.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, I was
But
looking at the cover picture of the music video, and it's the full filters that you kind of play around with, like sepia and all those
oh
things.
yeah, sepia is a very old word. Yeah.
There you go. That's the
Yeah.
one. Oh, I love that. Why were you reminded of that song for this story?
Because in that movie, so it's a moment where the main character of the movie, he's in a ship,
Mm,
and it's sort of same way with this ragtag crew of people that he's met, and he's important for this story of Earth, but he still
mm,
doesn't know it. And they just go through this nebula where there's floating alien monsters
yeah,
with the ship, and then he just suddenly starts like surfing with the ship through the nebula and playing with the monsters, and this
pretty
song
cool.
starts going in the background. It was super cool, and it's this rock
Wow.
music that's super energetic, and it's just stuck in my head. And so it reminds me a lot of Nash, of being a
Yeah,
fighter pilot, of sort of
yeah,
having that connection to the flying, which is something that I've
yeah.
always found super cool and has a lot of energy. I don't know. It's there you go. You get one song.
That's amazing. That's a really good pick. I love that. I'm
Maybe.
gonna listen to it right after this. But thank
Okay.
you.
Hopefully you can find it.
Oh, I found it. Saved now.
Okay. I'm going to listen to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for
That's
being
it.
here. Thank you so much for
Sure.
having me on your ARC team.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely loved War Beyond Galaxies, and I'm so
Thank you.
excited for the next book. I can't believe you're going to do a time jump because I have so many questions.
Sorry.
And it's just been such a pleasure to even just get to know you through Instagram and have
Same thing.
conversations and
I know.
really
Yeah.
like see the behind the scenes of the story. But yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so
Same
much.
thing. Such a pleasure to be here. Yeah. And thank you
Yeah.
for doing this. It's been super fun.